take the clothes off my back and I let you.
What's up, man?
You'd steal the food right out my mouth, and I'd watch you eat it. I still don't know why. Why I love you so much.
Spoken like a father. Man, that's the one. All of a sudden, all that work, everything you've been doing your whole life, pouring it into you, and then you find someone you love and you like start to share it with them, and then you give birth and you give it all to somebody else.
Right.
I mean, just describe your experience, man. I'll go in with you if you want, but describe your experience when you suddenly realized that you had a purpose greater than your own.
Yeah, I've always been pretty I want to say self-correcting. You know, and wanting to grow and wanting to evolve as a person. Like, so I was always like thinking about ways and thinking about the things that I was doing and thinking about karma and thinking about, you know, how can I further myself? Learning from my mistakes and trying to be a better person. And then something happens and it just, you know, it's strange how how the world and how the universe is set up when it just happens like that. You know, as a child, you're just stubborn and you don't think tomorrow's gonna come, and everything's like, if I don't go to the dance, Dad, I'm gonna die.
My life's over.
It's over. Every day your life's over when you're young, you know, and then when you get older, you know, you're ready to have a child, and then you know, your world opens up, and it's just like all the things that you've been trying to learn, it just happens.
It's game time.
It just happens for you. You know, I mean, if you're ready. You know, sometimes people have children too early, and they're not ready. But when you have a child when you're mature, I'm not talking about age. You can be mature at 18 years old. I've seen women, you know, and men, you know, at that age that were mature and ready to have a child. I just wasn't one of those people. And when you're ready, and it just all the things that you've been trying to do, it just happens. You know, you just let go. You know what I mean?
So, what's her personality like, man? Can you see it already? Can you see
Absolutely.
Yeah. What's her vibe? Is she like energetic? Is she thoughtful? Is it deep? You know,
very thoughtful. Yeah. Very thoughtful and very inside her own mind, pretty much like her pop. You know, like
she's a watcher.
She'll answer her own time. If you know how you ask kids questions, like, you know, say apple, and if they don't say it right away, you like say Jack, say none, and you know that's your pace.
Yeah.
You know, that's your pace, and you can't do that to a child. If you ask her something, she'll think about it, and sometimes you almost forget, and then she'll answer.
She'll do it in her own time.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
I mean, you saw that coming a mile off, right? You saw that on the plane this morning.
The thing about this is, and what's really cool about the Mommy Dearest part is the irony of it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
and
it's dark as well. When you it's a little bit like I need to wash after here and there. You know?
Let's do this for these babies. Mercedes, truck up, houses on.
You know, I could actually take you back to Holy Grail on this, to the first line. You know.
Right.
Blue. First word of the record is blue.
Yeah, and not in the literal sense, but in the just seeing that life remind you.
That's where we're going. Let's get what's important here.
That's exactly.
But what's interesting to me is that straight away, you're like you deliver the harsh reality of the situation. You said blue told me remind you, and then you use the word that's like one of the harshest words, like, you know, to a lot of people. Bam, this is the harsh reality in a weird way. It's not like you know, blue daddy's home, whatever. You know, you kind of like, hang on.
Yeah.
You find a way to put the two together, which is quite uncomfortable listening for some people, I think, when they talk about the innocence of a child and the harshness of what you've grown up with. You know what I mean?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Because what happens is, and a lot of people, you know, I mean, we as people, we're forced to, you know, we're conditioned to take everything we hear literally. So you put a child against that word, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, you talk like that in front of your child?
That's the bad.
You know, but if you put, you know, I'm a writer, so literally I'm saying the birth of my child gave me this new energy and focus. So I have to, Blue told me remind you, but just the focus and the energy she gave me, she obviously can't say. Fuck that shit you're talking about. My dad's the one.
Daddy, yes, sweetheart. You better remind me.
Yeah. She's 17 months.
Even you would be like.
She's amazing, but I mean, come on. So, you know, I'm using a metaphor to say just her energy and her presence gave me the focus again to remind you exactly who I am.
Yeah, the thing that really made me do when I became a dad, you know, it made me really focus on what was important to me. It didn't make me want to slow down.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
That's the line. Yeah.
And anyone who's like, hey,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it could, because you have to manage your time. Anytime away from your child is better be important.
Yeah.
You start saying, I don't want to do things. I need to get back.
Yeah.
I need to get back to my child. So I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not. Yeah.
But you know, something's gotta. I mean, as life goes on, children get older, time becomes even more precious. Especially in that kind of like 4 to 12, it's always precious. But when you've got to really maximize that time when their brain is growing and before the independence sets in, you know, something's got to give at some point. Maybe. I mean, you know, you've got to find a way to kind of find that even more time. Can you see where do you think that far ahead of how I can balance out the work and the family life? And
I'm doing that now, right? I'm trying to put up a tour here. I'm going to put up a tour. I don't want to go out this year, and I'm trying to align the schedules now. And you know, I would have just done the tour. I would have announced it today on the show. Let's do this. You know, but I have to make sure that my schedule can align properly, and you know, it's work. It's work. It's you know, it's not this carefree. We're gonna put up 40 shows and be gone for 3 years type of thing. Not 40 shows, you know what I'm saying? Put up 100 and whatever shows and be gone for 4 years. It has to be carefully mapped, and then you know, there's you know, 2 entertainers in the house, so that also has to be considered as well.
Thank God for Glastonbury. Thank God for, you know, Shea Stadium. Thank God for Hackney. Thank God for the parks. You know, let me reach as many people as I possibly can in 90 minutes.
That's right.
And I'm going home.
Yeah. Yeah.
We haven't spoken about Hackney. How was that for you? That was special for us, special for the station,
amazing.
special for the people in the, you know, in the community.
It was amazing because it felt like it was set in the city. You know, it was set like in the center, and it felt like, you know, you could feel that sort of energy. You know?
Oh yeah, and the crowd was mental. I remember standing in that crowd as you came on to run this town, and you emerged from that backdrop, and it was like, wow, it was a pretty special night for everybody. You know what's interesting, man, is you've had so many opportunities to go on stage with your wife, and you don't, and she doesn't necessarily with you either, and you respect each other's platform and each other's place and career and do that, even though there's all that anticipation of, here it comes, Jay's gonna walk out, and you don't, you know. But that's got to be a tour at some point. That's the one, is it not? Is it not?
Right, that's the easiest one, right?
That's the easiest one.
All your problems are solved. Why don't you just do it?
Happy families, man. It's like the Partridge Family. But it's got to be the one at some point. I mean, you've done it with Throne. You're doing it with Justin. I love Kanye. I think Justin's great. But that's the one. Yeah. I mean, have you guys ever discussed that as a possibility?
Yeah, but it's always floating out there. You know, it's floating out there. You just don't want to make it a schnick. You know, and it's
what?
You know, like a
schnick.
A schnick. You know,
Did
like
you just give me a word?
Yeah.
What is that?
A thing, like a gimmick.
Right, cool. If I start throwing that around at parties, people aren't gonna laugh at me, are they?
Probably.
Yo, that's a schnick. Did you just say schnick?
Like, you know, make it, you know, it has to be a real thing, and you know, it's again, like you said, it's slowly making sense, more sense every day. Every day is making more sense, but you know, as far as the tour, not an album, but you know,
time.
Yeah,
maybe we'll tell.
Yeah.
How's your record going? People are hungry for that record.
Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic.
I saw something when you were talking to Angie the other day. Actually, you were saying there's like 100,000 songs floating around now.
Yeah.
Good luck picking those. Did she ask you? Obviously, she does. You're her husband, but you know, do you? You can be honest. You be really honest with her.
Of course, I can. No, I have to only be honest. I have to be honest. That's the only way I can operate.
So we're talking about family as we get closer to the end of this, man. And I wanted to ask you something. You know, we mentioned before the people that have seen fame to the natural conclusion, and their natural conclusion didn't end well. And a lot of time it doesn't end well. It's success. You fly that close to the sun, you know.
That's right.
So I suppose the question is, can it be done? You know, you and Beyonce are two of the most visible individuals on the planet in the world of entertainment. Together, you live what seems to be a really healthy, happy life. You have a child, it's great. Can you get out if you want to get out? Can you do it?
Yeah, you just like I said, it's a dangerous dance.
But can you walk away if you wanted to walk away? Can you walk away? Can you say?
Yeah, it's difficult because it's something you love and something you spent your whole entire life doing. So you always feel like I have one more. It's just how it is, you know, with athletes as well. You just always believe that, and not out of some sense of let me grab another check or let me, you know, some of it can be shallow. But for the most part, you know, when you really do something, you really love it, and you've been doing it, like in the case of Beyonce since she was 9 years old, or professionally since she was 16 years old. Like when you've been doing something that long, you love it. It's what you do. It's who you are. It's part of who you are as a person. Like people get up in the morning and do the same thing. We're creatures of habit. You get up, you brush your teeth. You probably start on the same side every day. You sleep on the same side every night. You watch pretty much the same sort of programs. That's how the computer can find you and just pinpoint at what you do. They learn.
That's embarrassing for me.
Yeah, you have learned
because
behavior.
I like America's Next Top Model, and now somebody somewhere knows that.
Yeah, you have just like learned behavior. So it's difficult, but you know, in the case of like two people that are pretty much grounded, you know, and self-aware and know who, and you have to think about it. You have to always be aware that it's still out there. No matter how much you think you got that fire under control, you're still firing close to the sun. And when you take your eye off it for 1 second, you know, it's gonna burn you.
So you're gonna play some shows this weekend. How many new songs are you gonna play, you reckon?
About 4 or 5. I just want to test them out to see.
You gonna play this one?
Yeah, I have to.
Oh,
I have to.
Oh God.
I have to.
Yeah. This is classic Timbaland though, right? Especially when you get to the 8-bit thing. Where did this one feature in the process? Where did this one go?
This one came, I want to say midway through. When we got to the album, we pretty much finished in 2 weeks. When we really sat down, you know. And this was about halfway through, and it had a different hook. He had took the part in Holy Grail where I say, riding by with that big body, curtains all on my window. And it had this beat, and it's like, riding by in this big body, curtains all on my window, driving by. And I loved the beat, but that thing was just like so typical to me.
Yeah, the throwaway?
And it was like, that's just too. So once I got rid of that, it took me a while to get it out of my mind.
Yeah.
And then once I got that out of my mind, it just like.
Where Tom Ford. Was it a sound more than it was the words in a weird way?
Yeah. Almost like saying something is dope.
Yeah.
More not just like a suit. Just
you
like,
love making people verbs, man. You make Pharrell a verb as well?
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Don't even tell me what it means.
We out here saying it.
I'll take that, man. I'll take that. You know my other favorite one on the record as well at the moment is just this is crazy.
Yeah. That's it's like a rally song. I start looking at, not to get so heavy, but I start looking at you know, Egypt and everything that's going on right now. People just trying to like take back their independence and you know, and it's under the, you know, everyone believes in their cause.
Oh, that beat is so stupid.
Let's just listen to this.
Now we on the stage. I'm from the bottom, I know you can relate. I've got the world.
Yeah, it's like making it a positive. It's like, you know, like unrest can be useful in the grand scheme of things.
This is pretty much the new rules. It's could have been called the new rules. It's just that, you know, question, what if you try that?
Yeah.
What if you're not crazy? What if it works?
Yeah.
You know, what if the way we've been doing things the whole time is wrong?
You're having the best midlife crisis ever.
Yeah, exactly. It was either that or a red Ferrari.
Yo, man, listen, all the best with everything, man.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's a tour to be announced at some point once you get the nuts and bolts worked out.
Yeah.
And listen, man, we wait with bated breath for whatever else
Yeah,
comes.
I'm
our
gonna
way.
start here first, so it's gonna be great. Well, yeah, and here first.
You need to come here and you need to You need to
lay it down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One time.
I might finish the rest of those records here. The short interludes, just finish them here and just put.
More music sooner rather than later, you reckon? Or you never know?
I don't know. The way the zone that me and Timmons right now, you know, you just never know. And then, you know, there's always Kanye and there's
what's up
Watch
with-
the Throne too.
Yeah,
So.
well, I mean, that was such an amazing experience, man, to go and witness that live show.
For you.
Did you hear what Kanye did?
I'm just saying.
A little bit. When you put two people, friends or otherwise, in this situation, you're coming from two sides of the stage. You know, it's going to be intense one way or the other.
Yeah.
On
It
stage and off.
it actually was really easy. It was really. I mean, because of the relationship. You know, it's always been a a big brother thing and a respect thing, and you know, it's always a good experience. But he's gonna challenge everything because he's really just trying to test it and poke holes to make sure that, you know, it stands up.
Yeah.
Stands up to the prodding, you know, stands up to the test. And which is good, and I admire that. So it kind of works for me.
I just want to make him happy. Do you know, like, when I went out on radio, I think I might have sent you that email as well. I was like, it's the greatest rap show I've ever seen. And you came back like, that's great, thank you, man. Kanye heard me say it on radio, went out the next night and was like, I heard some guy say it was the greatest rap show of all time. Fuck that, it's the greatest show of all time. I'm like, I just want to make you happy, man. How do I, just tell me how to make you happy, man. So good luck to you on that.
That's right.